is going to be about my pregnancy, because I really, really, really wanted to do the whole, like, week-by-week pregnancy thing, like Gabe and Jess does, which I follow her, by the way, and I really wanted to do that because she helped me out a lot. Like, I didn't even know that your stomach doesn't automatically go back flat. I thought that as soon as you have a baby, you go back automatically, looking back how you're supposed to, and there's so much stuff that I learned from her, and I really wanted to help other people learn, because, like, I'm a lot younger than her, and, you know, like, whenever she had Lilia, you know, she's 18. Well, I'm not trying to, like, use her or anything like that, so if you get mad, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, I learned a lot from her. Well, so I wanted to do that, but every day, like, every week, I felt like crap, and in order for me to make a video, I needed my hair to be looking halfway decent, because I was pregnant throughout, like, the whole summer, and I just felt like crap, so I didn't want to do anything. So first, I'm just going to start off with my morning sickness. I had all-day sickness, like morning, night, evening, noon. Anytime I ate anything, I threw it up. I was like that. I was probably like that from, I was 4 weeks pregnant whenever it probably started, and it ended at, like, the very, very, very end of my 3rd month. Like, I was beginning of my 4th month, and I'd throw up, like, maybe once or twice a week, but then it just stopped. So anything and everything that I could eat would make me throw up. I could not smell cocoa butter. Like, I bought cocoa butter stuff for my stretch marks. That would make me want to just barf my head off. And also, anything with grease in it was a no-go. If I smelt grease, if I had it in my mouth, and nothing. And I love fried chicken, so every single time that we had fried chicken, I couldn't eat it because I would throw it up. So, anything with grease, I didn't want to smell. You know, like microwave pizzas or whatever. That, cooking it in the microwave, the smell that lingers in the house would make me throw up. So I had to make my little brother start cooking their pizzas up in the oven, which takes a little bit longer, but, I mean, I'm sorry, but I was sick. But, you know, my morning sickness had me feeling like crap. I lost, like, 10 pounds. Like, before I got pregnant, I normally weighed about 165, but whenever with all the throwing up and everything, because there's not any meal that I didn't throw up. So I lost about 10 pounds, so I probably weighed about 150, 155 whenever, like, I started to actually gain weight. Well, whenever my morning sickness stopped. Okay. So, I started showing, like, you know how, you start to, like, show, it's like a fake belly. I've read about it up in my What to Expect When Expecting book. You'll be, like, 2 months pregnant, and you'll think you're showing, but then the next day there's no belly there. That started happening whenever I was about 2 months pregnant, which I thought I was showing, but then, like, the next week it'd be gone. So, I started really showing whenever I was about 4 months pregnant. Like, people would come up and ask me, like, oh, are you pregnant or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm pregnant and stuff. So, you know, I was so happy whenever that would happen, because, like, okay, I keep on saying the same thing. I've known ever since I was younger that I want to be a mom, and after, you know, I had dealt with, you know, me finding out I was pregnant and got used to the whole idea, I loved it whenever people would come up and ask. So, my colostrum, it came in whenever I was like 19 weeks pregnant. I was so happy. I called my mom. I went in there and showed my mom. I called my baby's dad, my baby's father's mom. I called my baby's father, and they're all like, that's cool. But I was so excited because I wanted to breastfeed, so I was super happy because, you know, some people have problems with breastfeeding, and I knew that if my colostrum came in, then I was good on breastfeeding. So, you know, that's whenever I started leaking milk. Whenever I started to first feel her move, like, I could feel her move whenever I was about 3 months pregnant, but I wasn't quite certain if that's what it was because nobody else could feel it, but I could feel it. And then whenever I was 4 months pregnant, then I could feel her on the outside, and everybody else could too, which I thought was the most amazing feeling in the whole wide world. And whenever I was further along in my pregnancy, I just loved to lay on my back and just let her move and stuff like that. She's just a crazy, crazy mover. Like, there's no time this kid was still. She was, after she, like, got bigger and stuff like that, like, from, like, 5 months on till I had her, there was no time whenever she was quiet ever. There was one time whenever she stopped, she didn't move like all day long. I was so scared. I went to the emergency room because I thought something was wrong. And they were like, no, she's fine. Yeah, she's probably just sleeping. I was like, well, she's never, ever, ever still. So, like, she was never still. If I went to the hospital, yeah, she was never still. I had low iron while I was pregnant, and I've always had problems with low iron or whatever, but it got to a point where I had to be put on like an iron supplement, which wasn't any fun because like my nurse had scared me a lot. She told me that if my iron didn't come back up, you know, I could die in delivery. So I really stayed on taking my iron pills, and I had to eat I tried to eat every food that I tried to eat had to have a little bit of iron in it, and I ate some beans, which I hate beans unless they're refried beans. I even ate beans, so I made a lot of sacrifices for her. I got this pregnancy rash called PUP. I'm just going over all the things that, you know, happened to me during pregnancy. Sorry, my nose is itching. I got a pregnancy rash called PUP. If you don't know what it is, look it up on Google. It's spelled P-U-P-P-P. Yeah, 3 P's. It's a rash that can spread all over your body, except for your face, and it burns, and it hurts, and it itches, and nothing will help it to itch, and nothing will help it not to itch. The only thing that would ever help me is only sometimes. If I would get it cold, like if I take a cold shower, or if I lay some ice on it or something like that. For like 3 days, I had to lay in my bedroom naked, completely naked, because my rash, it started on my stomach, then spread all over my legs, on my hips, on the back of my arms, on my butt. It was everywhere, and it was horrible. Like, it looked like little blisters all over my skin. And I would cry all the time because it would hurt so bad, and it would itch, and I would cut myself from scratching so much. So I started taking like cold showers because I subscribed to a Facebook page for women with PUP. So yeah, I subscribed, and a lot of people were telling me like take cold showers, and you know, don't wear any restricting clothing, just try to stay cool, that'll help you out, and to use this stuff called Grandpa's Pine Tar Soap. If you've ever smelled that stuff stinks, like, I don't know what, but it was either itch my skin off or use a stinky soap. So I chose the stinky soap, and I also would take oatmeal baths and stuff like that. So, you know, I had to deal with it. You know, it was really hard to deal with, but, you know, I got through it, which I'm so glad I got through it. And, I mean, it lasts, like, some people, as soon as they deliver their baby, the itching stops. My itching lasted for about 4 days postpartum, and then it was gone. I can't read my handwriting. I don't know what this is. I gained 70 pounds with pregnancy, which I wasn't very happy about, but I did. Yeah. My feet would hurt all the time, and so would my knees. Like, I never had a problem with back pain. I don't know why, but now I do. But back when I was pregnant, I didn't. My feet would be like the size of freaking sausages, because I had like this really bad craving while I was pregnant that I craved salt. And so I'd eat it like all the time, so much of it. Like, I'd pour it on my hand and just lick it off my hand. And, you know, I never had high blood pressure either, but my feet would swell up so bad, and my knees would hurt me all the time. But my doctor said it was normal. I can't really think of anything else that went, like, anything with my pregnancy. I found out what I was having whenever I was 20 weeks pregnant. I had my with my insurance, I could only have 2 ultrasounds. I had my first whenever I was 3 months, had my second whenever I was 5 months. I was pregnant from January all the way to September, which sucked. I was pregnant all summer. And it's so hot. I live in Arkansas,